Hi everyone, my name's Mandy Witherby and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. I have a very special video for you today. So those of you who might be used to watching me might think this is really unusual. I'm coming to you in the middle of the week, but I have something really special to show you. Look what I have. Can you guess what it is? That's right, it's the new Stampin' Cut and Embossing Machine. So I received it yesterday, but I didn't have time in the evening after work to open it. So I thought I would go live this afternoon after not long getting home from work and open it with you all. So what do you think? I'm very excited, and I've got a few things here as well to have a play with it, and we can see how it works. All right, so what I will do is, I'm actually standing up at the moment. Normally you see me sitting at my craft desk, but I thought it would be easier to do this standing. So that might be why it looks a little bit different. So how about we get to opening it. Now, if you are here, feel free to say hi if you're here live, or if you're watching the replay later, or perhaps watching it on YouTube later, feel free to leave a comment. And I will respond to you. So, all right, so let me cover up the camera and I'll tip the camera down. Oh, before I do that, I need to call up this Facebook Live on my iPad so that I can see any comments that are coming through, because once I tip the camera down, I won't be able to see your comments otherwise. So just give me a sec and I'll call that up. Okay. Let me refresh that page and I'll get that. Oh, there we go. Okay, good. Now I can see all of your comments. So say hi if you are jumping on live. Nobody was expecting me to go live this afternoon. I wasn't even expecting to go live this afternoon. So yes, we'll see how many we end up with. All right, so let me cover up the camera and I'll tip it down and we can open this box together. All righty, here we go. So let me just flip those cameras and I'll flip my camera down. And it's probably going to be up really close. Let's see how it's looking. And here is our box. I'll just put the lights down on there too so that you can see the box that we're opening. Wow, okay, so that is up really, really close. So let's open this box together. So I haven't even undone the tape or anything yet. So we'll do that very carefully with our scissors. Whoops. Very carefully, yes, we don't want to cut our fingers. Can't craft with cut fingers, can we? Alrighty, where is the center? There it is. So the new Stampin' Cut and Embossing Machine is available right now for demonstrators. For customers, it'll be available from the 1st of September. However, if you join Stampin' Up! Right now, you can actually put it in your starter kit. And the good thing about that is it's usually $209, but when purchasing your starter kit, you only pay $169. And you can choose $235 worth of product. So you could get a Stampin' Cut and Embossing Machine, and you could get another $26 worth of product as well. So that is a great way to go. All right, so in the top of the box, we have here our plates. So these are all the cutting plates, so we'll open those all up together in a moment. And then we've got some packaging around our machine. Bit noisy opening it, isn't it? Here it is. Wow, I'm so excited to open this. Now, can you all see that? I'll just see before I take it out of the box. Yes, you can. Great. Alrighty, let's take it out. And you'll notice in the bottom of the box is the handle. Okay, so we'll take that out as well. We're going to need that. We'll get rid of the box, and there's our machine. Nearly put the box on my puppy dog. She's sitting in here beside me. Now I'll sit down on my chair. And let's take it out of the bag. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is attach the handle. So here's our handle, and in here, in this package with all the plates, is an instruction booklet. So let's open that up. We'll open that up first. Let me turn that around. I'll take all of this out. Get rid of that noisy plastic. Okay, so this is our quick start guide. Okay, so it tells us here to please read the instructions before assembling, blah blah blah. So we'll do the right thing and do that. And we've got it in English, French and German and Japanese over the other side. And there's also pictures in here as well to show you how to set it up and how to attach your handle, etc. So the step-by-step instructions are here, and then it tells you what's inside the box, how to care for your machine, how to use it, and those sorts of things. And it does have a 3-year limited warranty as well on the machine. So that is really awesome. Okay, so let's do the first thing. We'll attach our handle. And we can do that we can actually do it by the instructions too. It's pretty easy. So we'll move our plates aside and we'll open up the bag that contains the handle. Now be really careful when you're opening this bag, because it's also got a little plug in there, and it's got a screw and a washer. There's our handle, there's our Allen key with our screw and our washer, and then the little rubber plug is in the bag itself. Okay. So we'll take out our Allen key, and very carefully we'll take out our screw and our washer. All right, so we'll turn it around. So let me just pop those down for a moment. All right, so this is where the handle attaches, and you'll notice that one side of this part here is actually flat, and there's a corresponding flat part in the handle there. So that's how you know which way to put the handle on. Okay, so we just pop that on that way, and then we'll get our screw and our washer, and we'll pop the washer onto the screw, and then we just pop that in there in the center of the handle. Just looking to see that in. Yep, so pop that in there, and then just use our Allen key to screw that in. There we go. So it's pretty easy to get that in. So do that up nice and tight. Let me just put that down. I'll hold the handle still and do that up nice and tight. There we go. And then this little rubber plug, that just goes in there, and there's a little notch just there in the rubber plug, and the notch matches this little notch at the bottom here. So then that just goes in there like that. So that protects the screw. There we go. All right, so now our machine is ready to go. Pop our little Allen key away. All right, so with our beautiful machine, let's have a good look at it. So we have got the beautiful Stampin' Up logo there on the front. Actually, I think it's on both sides. Yep. So our lovely Stampin' Up logo there on both sides. And then let me turn it around this way so the handle is facing me. All right, and so then when we open it, there's little thumb notches here, so we can just pull those sides down and they will click down in place. Okay, so then we've got a nice firm platform there, and we've got the Stampin' Up logo on the inside of the machine there as well, and that's on both sides. great. Oh, it's nice and sturdy. It feels really nice and sturdy. So then we've got all our cutting plates, and all of the cutting plates, let me just turn this around. All of the cutting plates are numbered. Okay, so we'll go from the bottom first. We've got our number 1 base plate, and the good thing too about the all the plates is that it shows you the instructions of how to layer up your plates to form your sandwich as you're putting through your dies. It shows you which plates to use. Okay, so this one says using with thin dies. So that's the base plate, and then our number 2 plate is this one here. So you'll see the number up the top here, and this is the thin die adapter, or what we used to call the thin die adapter. So it says place die cutting edge down. Do not use with embossing folders. So this thin die adapter, you don't use with the embossing folders. Okay, and this is not a cutting surface. All right, so if you're cutting, you always have to make sure that you have one of these clear plates, which has number 3 on it there. And we've got 2 of those. And there's a little bit of tissue paper between them, just to separate them. And there's our other one. So we've got 2 cutting plates, 2 number 3 cutting plates. And then we've got our 4th plate here as well, which again, this is not a cutting surface. And this is the one that you use for your embossing folders. So your 3D embossing folders. Okay, so that is all the components, and it does show you in the booklet here. Let's turn back to that page. It tells you all of the things that are in the box. You've got the Stampin' Cut and Embossing Machine and the handle kit, the base plate, the 2 cutting plates, and the specialty plate, which is this one here. Sorry, base plate and the die plate, which was number 1 and 2. The 2 cutting plates, which is number 3, and number 4, which is the specialty plate. Gives you care instructions here as well, how to look after your machine, etc. Yeah, so I thought I pulled out a few dies and embossing folders and some cardstock, and I thought we'd have a quick little play just to see how... Oh, you got yours today too, Sharon. Awesome. So much fun. So I thought we would have a quick little play, and let's see how we go. All right, so we've got our number 1 plate and our number 2 plate. We're going to be using some thin dies to begin with. We're also going to be using our number 3 plate for our thin dies. Is that right? Using with thin dies, yep. And then we're going to need another. Oh, hi Sharon, how you going? Got my 2 Sharons on here, yay. And then we're going to need a number 3 plate for on the top as well. So let's just move that over. So I pulled out some of, oh, you can't even see, I've got some spares in here, but I pulled out one of these more intricate dies, which is from the Ornate, this is the Ornate Borders dies. So let's pull out those ones. And I might do this one here, because this has got a fair bit of detail in it. All right, so I've got my cardstock here. I've got a little bit of, what color did I put out? Rococo Rose cardstock. Now, you put your dies with the cutting surface down, and I've got that plate on there, that clear plate, number 3 plate. And let's put that down there. We'll put that over to the side. We'll put our other number 3 plate on the top there, and we'll make our plate sandwich. There we go, and we're ready to roll that through. And as we roll it through, just hold your hand on the top. It does have rubber feet on the, it will creak and crack, and that's fine because the plates are new. It does have rubber feet underneath, but depending on your surface that you're cutting on, my desk is quite slippery. And you'll notice now that I've got the impression in my plate there too, which is very normal, okay? So don't be worried if you find that. Okay, so let's pull this one out, and look at that, it took out all of the pieces. So this one is a border die. Let me just cut that extra section out there so you can see. I should have put that closer to the edge actually. There we go. And then it's just got a couple of extra little bits that are still in there, but most of them came out straight away, just some of them smaller ones. Let me get my take your pick tool, and you can just pop those out, just those little extra ones. Or if you've got a die brush, I meant to grab my die brush before I went live and I completely forgot. It was on my list of things to grab and I've left it over in my trolley. There we go. So look how beautifully that cut. Isn't that gorgeous? And you can see it's cut out all of those pieces that you can see here on our plate, and it's left them all in place, which actually looks really pretty. All right, let's do another one. Let's see what else we can have a play with. So I'll just clean all those scraps of cardstock off my plate. Always make sure before you go to do another die cut that you clean all the excess pieces of cardstock off your plate, because otherwise they can affect the end result of what you're cutting. So you can see now my plate, this plate is marked up, but that's okay, it's meant to do that. All right, so let's do another one. So we'll pop that one aside. We've had a go with that one. Let's do some leaves out of this one and see how our leaves look. So move that over a little bit. And I'll pull out, how about we do this one here? Let's remove that from the backing. Oh, that's very well stuck on there. There we go. So this is the Forever Flourishing dies. And I've got a piece of cardstock here. I've got a piece of Pear Pizzazz. So we'll pop that down on our cutting plate. We're using the same sandwich again, so the same plates. And if you find that, if you find that your plates are starting to warp over time, what you do is you just flip them over. In fact, it's a good idea to flip them over from time to time anyway, just to alleviate any of that warping that might happen, but it does happen over time with the plates. And oh, is that in right? Yep, that's in right. Okay. And it's just creaking and cracking because the plates are new. But sometimes with some of our dies, it does that anyway as it rolls through. There we go. Oh, look how beautifully that cut out. It actually came right out onto the cutting surface there. So let's use our little, I'm just turning my tool over in my Take Your Pick tool. I'm getting my spatula to just slide it under there so that I don't damage that as I lift it up. And that cuts so well. Look at that. Beautiful. That cut beautifully. Awesome. It is so much easier to use, and it's really easy to crank that handle through, Sharon. Oh, Sharon Hammond, you got yours yesterday as well. Awesome. Fantastic. Beautiful. All right, so how about if we have a go with some of our embossing folders? Now, I've got a couple of different ones here. Let me see which one. Oh, there was one I meant to grab and I've picked up the wrong one. Hang on, let me grab it. Okay, because there's a couple of different folders. So this embossing folder is the Subtle Dynamic Textured Impressions embossing folders. So these are the old style and they're quite a bit thicker than our current 3D embossing folders. So this, oh, let me grab that. So this is our 3D embossing folders, which have kind of replaced the old Subtle Dynamic Textured Impressions. But because those ones are a bit thicker, we'll be using a different sandwich to these ones. So let's go with the current ones first, the 3D embossing folder. So we need to take off our these plates here, and we're just using the base plate, and it tells me on here, using with 3D embossing folders. So we're going to use the number 1 plate, which is this, and the number 4 plate, which is the grey plate. Okay, and we're going to put our folder with our cardstock in between those two. So put our base plate on. We'll take out our folder. And this one that I'm using is the Old World Paper 3D embossing folder. It is, it was a magnificent cut, Sharon. It cuts so well. And I'm keen to see how it embosses. So I've just got a piece here of terracotta tile, and I'm going to pop that in my embossing folder. This is my 3D embossing folder. All right, and then we pop that on the plate. And then we pop our grey number 4 plate on top. And make sure that our plates are lined up and that our embossing folder is sitting within the plates. Oh, one tip as well, when you are embossing with embossing folders, always be sure that you put that folded edge through first. So that way, the folded edge through first, so that it doesn't crush your plate or break that fold or anything like that. So always make sure you send it through that way first. And then grey plate on top. And there's a bit of resistance when you first go through, but that's what we want. But it's actually not hard to crank it through. If there's too much resistance, then you know that you might have your sandwich wrong. So never force it. Just fiddle with the sandwich with your different plates, and then try again, but never force it to go through. So you want a little bit of resistance, but not a lot. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that. That embossed beautifully. That looks awesome. I love this embossing folder. Doesn't that look awesome? So you can use the embossed side, or you can even use the debossed side if you like that look as well. I like this look on this side because it looks like the paper has been scrunched, and I like that distressed kind of look. All right, so that one worked really well. Now let's try our old style folder. So our old style subtle dynamic textured impressions folder. Now this one's going to have different, we'll get, let's see, we'll get the same color. I'll use another piece of terracotta tile and I'll pop that inside my folder. Now this time we're going to use the base plate. The base plate you'll pretty much have for everything. The base plate, which is the number 1 plate, you'll use that for everything. And I think with this one, we'll test it. I think we put this one down and then the clear plate, from what I have heard from other people. But let's just test it and see if that is the correct sandwich, because the grey plate is too thick for these ones, because this embossing folder is thicker than the 3D. Whoops, I just need to get that lined up properly first. Get my head in there. All right, let's see. Yep, that's the right one. Okay. So for the textured impressions embossing folders, the old style, you just use a base plate, then your embossing folder, and then one of the clear number 3 plates. And let's see how we go. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous. And that gave us that beautiful subtle, so this is the subtle dynamic. I think now it's a subtle 3D embossing folder. But that gave that beautiful finish on there. So there we go. Should we do another one? Let's do another embossing one. Let's do another 3D one. I want to do the flowers. I've got the ornate floral 3D embossing folder. Let's do one of those in some Rococo Rose. But you can see how easy it is to use. Now we need this plate, and then we need our grey plate, which has a bit of cardstock caught on it. Alrighty. We'll pop this in here. So when you're using the Stampin' Up! Embossing folders, if you put the cardstock in with the Stampin' Up! Logo on the top, then you know that that's the way that the impression is going to be, which is important too if you're doing inked embossing folder techniques and things like that as well, to know which way up, which is the front part of your embossing folder. All right, so we've got our base plate, which is our number 1 plate, our embossing folder, and then we're putting in our grey number 4 plate. And we'll crank that through so you can see how easy that is to go through. So I'm not having to force that handle or anything like that. And oh, gorgeous. Look at that. Wow, that is a really beautiful deep impression. I reckon that's better than my old machine, to be honest. I think that's awesome. That's given such a beautiful impression there. Hi Athena, how you going? Yes, I know, I'm doing a surprise live today. I just opened up my brand new machine, so I wanted to show everybody and unbox it with you all. So how beautiful is that? So there we go. So that is our machine. Let's grab all of those plates again. So now my plates are cut up. They're not pretty and new and shiny anymore. Well, they're still shiny, but but that's what happens with die cutting plates, isn't it? Stampin' Up! Will be releasing the replacement plates as well. They're also going to be releasing a magnetic platform as well. So to fold it back up, you can just fold them up. Whoa, it snaps in there. It has just been Chris and Sharon. Yeah. And then look how compact that is for storage. That's going to be so awesome. And it's got the really strong carry handle, so we can take it when we go places or go to events. We can take it along with us. There's the rubber feet on the bottom that I was mentioning. Mine have picked up dust off my desk already. And yeah, so there's the machine. And there's our plates. And there's our number 4 plate as well. So there we go. That is our new machine. Yes, I have christened it and I'm so excited and I can't wait to do more with it now. So there you go. So let me put the camera back up to my face so that I can say goodbye to you all, and I'll have to stand back up to do that because I've got the camera up really high today. So let me just cover up, where's my little, there it is. I'll cover up the camera. And I'll pop this up. And then as I'm doing that, if you've got any questions about the machine, pop them in the comments. And so before I go, I can answer any of your questions that you might have. All right, there we go. There. So what do you think? Do you love it? Do you want one? Do you already have one? It sounds like a few of you have already got one. So that's awesome. That's exciting. And hopefully, let me just adjust that camera. There we go. Oh, you can probably hear little feet, little pattering of little feet of my little puppy dog. She's in here with me today. Usually she's banned when I'm filming because she can get quite distracting. I'm just hoping she's not about to start barking. Yeah, so, you're welcome, Athena. Thank you for joining me. And hopefully some more people will see this on the replay and on YouTube as well when I upload it to YouTube. But if you are watching this later and you would love to get your hands on one of these awesome Stampin' Cut and embossing machines, let me know. As demonstrators, we can order them right now. So the best way to get them, and if you want to save yourself $40 on one of these machines, $40 is a huge saving, then you can get this in your starter kit because normally it's $209. But when you join Stampin' Up and you pop it in your starter kit, you're only going to pay $169. And then on top of getting the machine, you'll have another $26 to spend as well. And then after that, you'll get all of your future purchases at a discount, a 20% discount, and you can build that up to 25% over time as well. So if you'd like more information about that, I would love to have you join my team. I have a team of beautiful, beautiful ladies who are also welcoming. We have a great time together. At the moment, most of it is online, of course, because of COVID, but we still inspire each other with our creativity every day, every week, and we all just have a great time together. So if you'd like more information, please let me know. Oh, you're very welcome, Sharon. Thank you. So yeah, so have a great evening, everyone. Thank you to those of you who were able to join me live. And I think this is a good time to wrap up because my puppy dog is starting to get a bit unsettled. She's saying, "Mummy, I've had enough. I need attention now." So have a great evening, everyone. And if you have your new machine already, if you're a demonstrator, enjoy. If you're a customer, either join now and get it now. Otherwise, you can wait until the 1st of September and then order it through my online store. All right, have a great evening, everyone. See you later.